But you also have this really cool thing. It's not a cantrip, but it's something that all clerics can do. It's called attack, and you're normally gonna be putting like a +2 in your dex or strength. So that's, that's a real consideration.
Hello, friend. Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Word of Radiance.
Oh. This is
Radiance.
a thanks. This is a cleric cantrip only from Zayla's Guide to Everything. It's evocation cantrip. Cast time of action, range of 5 feet. Verbal and material components. Apologize. It requires your holy symbol. Duration instantaneous. You utter a divine word and burning radiance erupts around you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range. Make a Constitution saving throw or take a D6 radiant damage. Spell's damage increases by D6 at 5th, 11th, and 17th level. Neat.
Okay, yeah.
This spell is similar, in fact, near identical to Blade.
Sword Burst?
Sword Burst, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the one. Neither of these spells are particularly useful, but they sure do exist.
Yeah, this is area of effect, but within 5 feet of you. That I guess if you're surrounded by tiny nagging creatures, it's got something.
So my first comparison to this is going to be Acid Splash, which is a spell I don't think many people have ever cast, and probably ever won't, because it is very low on damage compared to something like Firebolt. I'm not super high on Firebolt either, but it's some damage, right? That is a D6 to two things within 5 feet of each other, and it's a 30-foot range, so that's like a ranged option. How many times are you going to be facing more than 2 creatures around you?
Well, I mean, it depends. You can make that happen.
Will you want to cast a cantrip while that's happening? Or
That's what I was thinking. Probably not.
Like, a weapon attack is better than this against 2 things. One thing is taking a larger quantity of damage, and that seems better. The floor on that's a lot higher. If you have 3 things, maybe it's interesting. Is it worth a cantrip slot? Probably not.
I guess, maybe at lower levels, because this does scale, but it's one of those who really cares at that point.
Yeah, the thought is like 3d6 is 11 damage on average, right? And that number is kind of relevant because it's a threshold for some low HP creatures that you might be fighting swarms of. So like if you're in a situation where you're fighting swarms of giant centipedes at 11th level, you can just like crowd surf into them and just evaporate them. And that's kind of cool. Now, are you going to be regularly fighting against swarms of giant centipedes?
All right. Well, no.
Probably not.
I was going to ask about swarms. If somebody can, I think there's some spells that like summon swarms to go hurt you. Does that just wipe out the entire swarm?
So the actual swarm monsters, no, they are counted as a single entity, so they'll take the damage a single time.
Okay.
I believe there are slightly different rules for swarm monsters from the monster manual that I do not remember off the top of my head. But they are, I think they might be like automatically fail area effect saving throws or something to that effect that encompass their space. But I believe swarms are just going to take this damage close to as normal. It doesn't like insta kill them or anything to that effect.
You know what I was thinking? This is one of those spells. I think we should do a video on this in the future. Spells that are not great in D&D, but that would be amazing in real life.
Why would this be good in real life?
You'd be the best exterminator in the world. You walk through somebody's house, cantrip, cantrip, cantrip. Walk along the walls, no more, roaches, no more. What?
I have really bad news for you. This says each creature of your choice that you can see.
Oh crap!
Unlucky. Sam crushes your dreams once again.
All right. Yes, this is not going on my list for that video now.
No.
All right. What if you're walking through the sewer and there's just rats everywhere? You kill a lot of rats that way.
Is that useful?
If you're in the sewer and you don't like rats.
Okay. Sure.
I probably just wouldn't go with the sewer.
Yeah, that seems like the obvious option. But maybe you want to be a little sewer gremlin and also hate rats. Then sure, I guess. Fun's upside this has over Sword Burst. Sword Burst doesn't let you pick creatures to sculpt out. This does, so you don't have to hit your buddies when you use this. That's neat. I can see there being like first level Wardabing clerics where you're playing in really tight, high-powered, low-tier encounters, which are not many tables, but some. And in that world, you would want an option for area of effect damage. One such table I know that existed because I ran it was my Zombie Apocalypse game. And in that game, I did have a cleric with Word of Radiance, in which case it was good because it executed zombies, because it specifically dealt radiant damage, which bypasses their undead resistance. Now, will that ever happen again? No. But it did happen once, and that's kind of novel, right? So there is some very niche upside to this. I do think there are some very few characters that want this for its practical applications. I'm not sure. Are there any other
I got one.
non-practical? Oh, thank you. Great.
All right. This might lean toward practical. I'm picturing this scenario. You're in a big battle. It's your party versus a group of whatevers, and it's really coming down to the wire. You got friends that are about to drop. You've already used healing word to get one guy up. Like, we're talking single digit hit points probably on both sides. You got to take a gamble. If you get hit one more time, you're going down. There's 3 guys standing over there. You charge at them. Yeah, you're pretty confident you could take down one with your mace or whatever. But, maybe you could take down all 3 with this. You just don't know.
With the D6 damage.
Well, or 3d6.
If we're at 11th level, there's we have nothing else, nothing. We're entirely out of all of our resources. Then you go, okay, maybe? And then one of them passes and you still get knocked unconscious and lose that fight. Yeah,
all
that
right.
seems terrible.
Yeah. It's a scenario, it's a gamble. It's not something I would take this for, though.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think that's going to come up often enough, or at all.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was thinking. This, it's still kind of harmless. I think if you ever get 2d6 damage out of this in the low tiers, you're like, oh, that was kind of decent. And I would say that's fine. I don't think that's going to happen often, but, maybe in the first 2 encounters, you use this and hit 3 goblins. And you go, oh, my Word of Radiance did 3d6 damage instead of, a d10 damage to one thing. That might be still not tactically advantageous, because you would rather just, narrow down and kill one thing at a time. But, it was a wider
you're
damage spread.
wearing them down for your friends to attack.
Sure. And then they one-shot them with one attack. That could be it, maybe.
Teamwork.
Sure, I'm all for teamwork.
If I am a cleric, what are my other? I want a damage option. What are my other options?
Sacred Flame is the go-to one that most people take. That avoids cover, and it does 60-foot range and is D8, which is enough. After that, you have, I think, Chill Touch is the cleric option. Let me check. I have to consult the Sacred list. I know that Death Domains get it because they copy it, which is disgusting. But you also have this really cool thing. It's not a cantrip, but it's something that all clerics can do. It's called Attack, and you're normally going to be putting a +2 in your Dex or Strength. So that's, that's a real consideration. Yeah, it looks like Toll the Dead is on this list, which means, oh baby, that's just Firebolt with upside. I don't know why. I mean, I hate Toll the Dead, and I just take Sacred Flame over it instead. But it's a D8 or D12 damage with Toll the Dead at a 60-foot range. So that's not great.
I don't know, I'm kind of liking that lower level play pattern. Just, charging into a group of enemies, softening them up, and letting your friends, like you said, one-shot them.
So there's a small issue with that play pattern, and the part of that issue is initiative, but another part of that issue is you have 9 hit points. So you running in there is an enormous risk. Normally you want to be with your teammates, side by side, because then you can try and spread hits out, because your DM's not going to be a jerk and just be dogpile one of them and kill you because you have 6 hit points right now. If you go, okay, DM, I'm going to be a hero, and you're level 1, and you just blitz 4 goblins, they kind of go, what an idiot, and then they just dogpile you.
Well, all right, how about this?
Even if you do 2 damage to the lot, I don't think they care.
All right, well, what if we're playing by Sam's initiative rules, where our whole team's going first?
This is so much more interesting then, right? Yeah. And I think that is more a point to my initiative rules. Go watch that video. Yes. Because this becomes a lot more interesting, because it can set up and work with your team in a more consistent fashion than maybe only one teammate goes between me and the goblins, and then I just get my ass destroyed by these 4 monsters, you know?
Yeah, but as standard rules go, you're probably right. This is it's gonna be tough to get this to be worth more than attacking.
Yeah, very, very tough. Some clerics will have like an 8 strength and a 10 dex, though. On those characters, why are you close to anything? Yeah, still garbage. So on the handful of martial clerics that are like sitting in the front line that have heavy armor that want an option for an attack as like your 3rd or 4th cantrip, sure, 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5 is what I was thinking. I want to like this more, but it's just
I like it a lot more
yeah,
when you use my variant initiate system, which you can watch on the Caverns Creatures YouTube channel. And there's even a piece on Bob's Caverns Creatures website that talks all about the value of variant initiative and why I prefer it over rolled initiative.
yeah. If I remember, I'll put that link down in the description. I might forget though, so you're not getting the Robert Bevan guarantee on that one. But
And when I say my initiative, it's not like an original idea. It's
no,
a lot of people do team initiative, and it's just the one that I use. And I
yes.
can't. Those are the specific rules that I play with. But like, I by no means claim that I invented team initiative. The Dumped Masters Guide.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I wanted to like that one a lot more. I guess it's still good for sewer rats.
Yeah,
So
Word of Radiance is trash.
yeah,
If you need to kill sewer rats, sure.
lots of them. All right. Well, that was Word of Radiance. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let us know your opinions down in the comments below, and like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.